joining me today is very popular filmmaker Rakeysh Omprakash Mehra, and today we're going to be talking about his latest film Toofaan, which is hitting its world television premiere on Z Cinema. That's happening this Sunday. Hello and welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me over.
Thank you for joining us. You know, when I said your next film, your latest film is hitting our television, many were hoping it was your next film, but of course, it was your magnum opus, Toofaan, which is finally making its way onto television. Now, you know, especially with COVID, we've had like a segregation of big screen, we've had OTT, and we have television. What, like to you, what does a television premiere mean today?
Traditionally, we would like release films on the big screen, and then it would go down to the small screen. So, and then they were going to many more millions of households. Because on a big screen, you can sustain your film, say, for a couple of weeks these days. That's how it happens. And that's how the business works. But what happens is when it goes on satellite, it gets kind of embedded there for perpetuity. The audiences can watch their favorite film at their own sweet time. You know, sometimes it's on a particular schedule, but then it's also listed there and you can always play it back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it offers the film coming into your own home theater.
Yes, absolutely. And I think there's also appointment viewing when it happens for films like these. You know, how on Sunday this is releasing, I'm sure there are people making plans to watch it on Sunday, which is a kind of a slice of old-fashioned, old-school kind of watching, don't you think?
Yeah, it's. I don't know whether it's old school or new school, but in the sense, it is most certainly family watching.
Absolutely.
And Sunday is a day everybody looks forward to. It's a holiday. The family gets together. You get to do things you haven't done all through the week. At the same time, catch up with your favorite entertainment. So it's a lovely day to have a world premiere on Z for Toofaan.
Absolutely. You know, and it's also coming right before Diwali, a world premiere of your film. Can we say this is your Diwali release?
No, these are labels.
These are labels.
These are labels. I won't say that. The film did go out on the OTT platform, and it did got some very good responses. A lot of love from the audiences. Broke some records for Amazon for the highest watched Indian film. Now I hope, and my fingers crossed, is going to the biggest satellite platform we have in our country, which is Z Cinema and Z Films, and it will go out to 1 million more households.
Well, absolutely. I hope so too. You know, your films are always loved by family audiences in particular. And as you mentioned, you know, TV really is family viewing. You spoke about how Toofaan broke a few records on OTT. And yes, that's true. You know, when it premiered, so many people tuned in to watch it. There was a lot of chatter about it as well. To you, what is the most heartwarming aspect of the feedback you've received about the film?
It's I think, you know, on the face of it, when all the promotions are out and there was a lot of intrigue. What's the film about? Is it about a boxing? Is it about boxing? Is it a sports biopic? But then once the audiences got to see it, and I've had feedback of people who watched it multiple times, and they've loved the message behind the film as such, and what is the moral of the story. And to begin with, that was the reason one made Toofaan, and I'm glad that we could convey what we had to convey.
And your films always do have that, don't they? a bigger moral, a bigger message, right from Ux, which I think was way ahead of its time. And I know you're told this all the time. And why do we not have it on an OTT platform yet? It is a film, that is a cult film by nature. It has its own fan following. So why is it not on OTT?
Um, it's interesting you asked me that because as we speak, we are remastering Hux
Wow.
because it's a 20-year-old film. So it's being completely restored. The sound is being remixed to the modern technology. The picture is being upgraded to the standards which are not prevalent at that point of time and not even available. So we're doing all that, and I'm sure maybe sometime middle of next year you'll see that.
I'm very intrigued because I think when I saw it, I was very young and I didn't understand what was going on. So I'm really looking
Mm.
forward to it. Also, the revival of Manoj Bajpayee, we all want to go and revisit his works. And you, sir, you are so selective with the work that you come out with. Just a handful of films that we have to keep repeat watching all of them.
I've been lucky that way, uh, as such that I always felt that films, when you tell a story through cinema, it's meant for perpetuity,
Mhm.
and it is like your favorite book, your favorite song, your best friend,
Absolutely.
whom you can go back to whenever you are once again happy, sad, lonely, angry, in despair, in frustration, ups and downs of life. So I have seen movies like that, movies which have inspired me, have and have held my hand. So I think it is just a carry it forward, pay it forward kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, it was 15 years of Rang De Basanti this year, and it was also 5 years of Mirzya, two very different films, celebrating different landmarks. What are your memories of these?
And 5 years of Bhag Milkha Bhag.
Absolutely, 5 years of Bhag Milka Bhag.
Sorry, more than that. 10 years of Bhag, 9 to 10 years of Bhag Milkha Bhag. Yeah.
Yeah, about 9 years. So we'll celebrate 10 years in a couple of years, sir. These are the two landmarks I remember because recently everyone was talking about Mirzya. And I remember earlier this year we were talking about, of course, Rang De Basanti. So what do you, looking at back on your filmography, what do you think are the aspects you would always want to retain going forward?
Uh, I think one thing, if I'm lucky enough and I like to retain, and it's such an interesting observation from you, is to not try and repeat myself.
Hmm. That
It normally हमको फॉर्मूला मिल जाता है फिर हम उसको रिपीट करते हैं हिट का फॉर्मूला तो I once something is out of me and I've told that story, I like to go on and explore something new. Yeah.
And I think, people have so much faith in you that they give you the biggest of budgets to explore the kind of stories that you want to say. The biggest of stars want to work with you. But yet, you take your own time in coming out with a film. I think you love your pre-production. So can we expect, another film from you soon? Are you in the pre-production stages of a secret project?
Not there's nothing secret about my projects. This is, it takes time because I also write my films,
Hmm.
and yeah, even if I get them as a gift from a writer, in the sense there is already a original writer, one has to then go down to the drawing board and write the screenplay because a movie is a story told in pictures. Is very important. So that takes me some time.
Hmm.
That takes me a year and a half or so, and then the rest is then you cast it after that. So all those things take time. So for me, it's not just another project. Yes, in a way it is, but it is also the purpose of life. Yeah.
You take so long to do it. We finish your film in a couple of hours and then we come back to ask you for more. And which is why what I'm doing, I'm representing the people. If I could ask you, sir, are you working on your next story now? Could you tell us an idea of what it's about?
Um, Shilpa, most certainly, not just one story, like three stories at the moment.
Wow.
And fortunately, two of them are already shooting screenplays.
Mhm.
So I'm finishing the third one. promised myself by Diwali I have to finish it. And so it's like the last mile. And then the process will start of going on the floors. Yeah,
Mhm.
as
Ex-
such.
any more details that you can give us? Who's
Wait
going
till Diwali now. It's
to?
around the corner.
That's true. Advance happy Diwali wishes to you, sir. How do you plan on celebrating it? Planning on catching any films on the big screen?
Um, Theaters are opening. That's great news. And I hope we can enter the theaters as responsible citizens. And the times are against us,
Mhm.
but uh, we just need to be careful about our health, and which is um, for the first time linked to the health of our loved ones and our family also. So it's we are all in it together. So it's so we need to be careful about that. But having said that, can't wait to enter the theaters. Tell me about it. It's like one has been wishing and dreaming for this day for a longest time. Yeah.
Absolutely, sir. So I'll see you at the theaters very soon. Thank you so much for joining us and happy Diwali to you.
Thank you, ma'am. All
Very
the best.